In the Buddhist tradition, hidden is an understatement by Zen practitioners of all dynasties, but it is enough to subvert the truth of worldly perception. The truly enlightened person, it was never you who I imagined to be kind. Look uncontested. Their horror. It's not about having superhuman powers. It's not about breaking the cycle of life and death. It is the complete separation of worldly obsessions, a complete break from false rules. It's in the kind of thing that discourages ordinary people. Absolutely transparent without being bound by anything. When one breaks free from the emotional system, chains of identity, the pull of desire, what will he be like? It is to become an alien who does not eat human fireworks, or become a mirror that calls to all our falsehoods. Most people's understanding of enlightenment, it's just a worldly interpretation that figures out everything. But I don't know in the Buddhist context. This is the ultimate awakening of the nature of seeing words. It's a cognitive leap across the barrier of life and death. Epiphany sung by Zen Southern sect. Never a sudden enlightenment at the level of thinking. It's breaking the nameless in a single thought. I see confidence. This confidence is pristine. Immortal. We're used to using good and bad, right and wrong. The dualistic standard of good and evil measures everything. How should it be used to? What kind of worldly rules should not bind yourself? Judge others. We believe that the enlightened should be tolerant of all things. To resolve all conflicts, you should be gentle. Meet everyone's expectations. But here's the thing. The mercy of the enlightened, never on the premise of pleasing the world. They are transparent and never accommodate the obsessions of others. They will tell the blunt truth. Even if it punctures the fantasy you have spent your whole life weaving, will make the most ruthless choices. Even if it goes against everyone's accepted ethics. This terrible, from the fact that they are no longer bound by my law enforcement, no longer live in the eyes of others, no longer believe in those who are already false. Secular norms. Like a light in the dark. Never pick a dark light to cater to the darkness. Instead, it is extremely bright. Summon the essence of all darkness. Let those who are addicted to it, feeling uneasy. In the long tradition of Buddhism, the poems of countless enlightened people have been mysteriously killed. It's not because Zen is deliberately hiding it, but because of the mundane, it is difficult for children to understand their realm. These stories, scattered in the corners of the ancient books of Zen history, gradually fading from the glitz in the word of mouth, leaving only the core puzzle, waiting for someone to decipher. Late Tang Dynasty. Ancient Chanyuan at the foot of Jiufeng Mountain in Yuanzhou, hidden a cone almost drowned in time. This cone case, it is the best illustration of the terrifying nature of the enlightened. The abbot of the monastery at that time, 10 pairs of Qingju Zen masters with unfathomable cultivation. His disciples gathered. There's mastery. The first monk of Shanyuan also has points agility, a savvy young disciple. Only the Zen master before the Tao seems out of place. Taoism is silent. I only bury my hands in sprinkling grass on weekdays, chopping firewood and fetching water and other chores, simply dressed, stricter than wooden. Neither participate in the violent debate among the disciples. I don't ask the master about profound fury. In the eyes of the public, it is nothing more than an autonomous mediocrity. He was a dutiful ascetic. No one associates him with the word enlightenment. Zen master Shishuang's body gradually declined in his later years. The disciples were worried. One after another outside the meditation room, inquire about the inheritance of the abbot's position. After all, the temple is full of incense. It needs to be respected. Only the host behind the cultivation base can continue the Dharma vein. Facing the questioning of the disciples, 10 pairs of Zen masters just slowly open their eyes. Eyes swept across the crowd. Leave a few words that seem ordinary. Hidden last words. Ashamed to go evil. Go cold. 10,000 years to go. Take back the deadwood. Go to the ancient temple incense burner. A white love. Voice falls. I slowly closed my eyes. Behind closed doors. A few days later, the disciples pushed the door open. I saw the Zen master holding the meditation bed has passed away safely. Peaceful face. No waves. The last words of 10 pairs of Zen masters are like an unsolved puzzle. Let the disciples fall into deep confusion. Some people say that the master is describing the realm after death. So life and death are impermanent. Confidence. Some people say, hidden in his last words is the code of the Dharma line inheritance. Those who need to understand can take the position of abbot. And the first monk steps forward. He was always drunk with the Zen masters. Proficient in various scriptures, the cultivation base is second to none among the disciples. He believes that the abbot is none other than himself. So he took the initiative to preside over the posterity of 10 pairs of Zen masters. Take care of the master's affairs in the Zen secretly courtyard, preparing to take over as abbot. The disciples also tacitly acknowledge this fact. No one makes sense. Just as the handmade monk was in full swing to take over, teacher instrument, when everyone also tacitly acknowledged his identity as abbot, the always taciturn apology Zen master, but suddenly emerged from the crowd. He goes up to the first monk. Calm eyes. Instead of indifferent, but with unquestionable power. If you want to succeed the abbot, you need to understand the deep meaning of the last words of fresh food first. The handmade monk Wen Yan was suddenly unhappy in his heart. He already felt that his aptitude before Tao was mediocre. I don't deserve to talk to myself about Buddhism. Now the other party is actually questioning himself in public, clearly deliberately making things difficult. But because everyone was present, and he also knew that although Tao Qian was silent, but often get 10 pairs of Zen masters alone on demand, he became angry. Wolf voice said, "It's just a description of the false realm after passing away. It's all phenomenal desire. Where does deep meaning come from?" Daiokian shook his head gently. The eyes are still calm. The rest of the immortal's words are ignored for the time being. I only ask you one white love. What exactly does kun mean? The corners of the handmade monk Wenyan's mouth arose with a smirk, with a bit of disdain. White face clean and flawless, fleeting. It's clear that life and death are impermanent. Self-confidence is pure, free from dust. I need to explain this shallow truth. Daiokian Zen master finished listening, still shaking his head slowly. There was no sound in his voice, but every word is like a needle, heavy handmade obsession. It seems that you have not understood the meaning of the teacher after all. This sentence completely ignited the anger of the first monk. He believes that Tao Qian is deliberately humiliating himself. Want to take the pool seat? Immediately flushed. Since you said I don't understand, then I'll prove it to you. Today I burn incense history. If the cigarette is not broken, I can achieve reality. See the meaning at a glance. If not, I'm really stupid. I don't understand the meaning of the teacher, willing to be martyred. Thank you for your teachings. The disciples' words are useless, panicked, one after another to dissuade. Some people advised the first work not to be so serious. Someone persuaded Master Kian to say less. But it's done by hand. Dozen has always been silent to help. No dissuasion. The handmaid monk immediately ordered human blood to bring incense to the incense burner. Lighting in front of the mausoleum of the 10 pairs of Zen rooms, fragrant mist rises, haunting the Zen room with the faint sandalwood smell. All disciples Binxi concentrated. His eyes were fixed on the Prime Minister, nervous and worried. But not until the cigarettes are exhausted. Shang heard most of them. Handmaid monk Bian suddenly binocular sign. Stiff body. Sitting on a futon. No breath. He competed and exhausted his mind in obsession. Martyr. Look stiff. There is still unwillingness in the eyes. The souls of the disciples were scattered. Someone panicked. Someone broke down crying. Others blamed the resentment on the Taoist Zen master, thinking it was his basis for questioning that caused the death. The first monk. Chaos in the room. Only the Zen master Deokyin still looked calm. He slowly walked to the body of the first monk. Pat him lightly on the back. There is no regret in it. Not proud. There is only one indifference that sees through everything. Slowly say that the author is dead. The founder died without the ruins of the ancestors. I can't dream until now. This sentence is like a heavy hammer. Hit the hearts of the disciples. But no one can understand the meaning. Someone is puzzled. Why did the first work come to this because of a question? Someone is confused. The words of the Zen master Taokian. What kind of mystery is hidden? What does the last words of the teacher mean? After the chaos, Chanyuan needs someone to preside over the residents. Although the disciples have doubts about Taoism, but no one dared to take over the position of abbot. Handmade tragedy looms. No one wants to make the same mistake. Finally, at the suggestion of several older disciples, Daokien, he took over the position of abbot of Jufeng Monastery. But the unexpected thing is, Tao's words and deeds after taking over, it made the disciples feel more and more terrifying. Some even secretly regret it. I don't think you should let such an abnormal Zen master presiding over the monastery as the abbot of the monastery, neither preaching scriptures before the Tao. I don't know about disciple Zuo meditation practice. We do not accept dead monks who come to study. I just walk alone in Jiufeng Mountain every day. Sometimes I sit on the rocks with my eyes closed and meditate. Sometimes rolling casually in the grass. Even more like a beast in the mountains. Walking in the woods. Clumsy posture. Without the calmness that a Zen person should have. A disciple of Zen Master Shi Shuang for many years. I can't stand this anomaly. He mustered up the courage to step forward to the Zen Master Daokien who is walking in the grass. Ask the Master. Those who practice should be like the clear wind and the bright moon. Take it easy. Dignified manner. Why do you want to be like an animal? Walking in the grass. Isn't this a Zen practitioner? Decent house. Zen jade. The Zen master Daokian stopped his footsteps, slowly turned around, looking at this disciple calmly. Ask back, then tell me. How to walk in infernal affairs. Disciple's dream immediately comes true. The infernal one was calm. Integrate with all things. Can't tell the difference. Not attached. But what does this have to do with walking posture? Daokian Zen Master Wenyan smiled softly. No further explanation. Just turn around and keep walking with your head down. Write a thought-provoking sentence. Echoing in the mountains and forests, walking in the infernal island. You can only walk like an animal. The disciple stood there, increasingly confused. He always believed that enlightened people should have otherworldly manner. But the master's actions go against common sense everywhere. Shattered all his knowledge of the enlightened. Not long after, a seeking monk from afar. I heard that there is an eminent monk in Jufeng Monastery. I made a special trip to study the method. After meeting Master Daokian, the monk's respectful baggage asked the master. It has been said since ancient times, like a foreign junior, like the Nei Shoshi king. I don't know what the master thinks. Daokian nodded slowly. Instead of plain, words are fleeting. The monk asked again why there is less outward. Ask the master to start. As if I don't know the end of the bed. It had to be cow. Go with the flow. Dragged by the outside world, it's less heavy outward. The monk is asking what is an inward sentry. The Zen master Daokian said that he knows to look inside. Look inward. Not bothered by the outside world. This is the inward sentry. The monk asked what was Mr. Wang. How to become President Wang. The response of the Zen master Daokian exceeded everyone's expectations again. It also made the monk deeper confused. Must be uncommitted. Unaffiliated person. Only then can all laws be followed. No difference. All laws are in harmony. This is but happen. This is Mr. Wang. The monk was puzzled. Ask Mr. Chun and Mr. Wang again. Which one is closer to confidence? Which one is easier to achieve enlightenment? The Zen master Daokian said lightly that the minister was in the door. Can't go out. This sentence is like thunder. Let the seeking monk fall into contemplation for an instant. Can't speak for a long time. The disciples of the Zen Academy were still at a loss. He couldn't understand why Wang never went out. Why no commitment? Without a father, he can make all laws comply with each other. Confidence is in the heart. What does it have to do with not going out? The Zen master Daokian seemed to see through his disciples' confusion, but never took the initiative to explain. Still going my own way, daily wandering in the mountains and forests, abnormal behavior, unusual reason. The disciples in the monastery gradually divided into two factions. One faction can't stand the abnormal words and deeds in front of the Tao. Think he's not a true enlightened person at all. Just pretending to be profound. So they packed their bags and left Jiufeng Zanyuan. The other faction chose to stay. Although I still can't understand the deep meaning of Tao's words and deeds, but always in his indifference and transparency, feel an inexplicable power. This power keeps them confused. More courage to persevere. There is a young disciple, growing up in a monastery. I have deep feelings for 10 pairs of Zen masters. After 10 pairs passed away, he was consumed by grief all day. Tea and rice, can't sleep at night, even produced leaving the monastery. The idea of returning to the mountains and forests, he found the Zen master Taoqian kneeling on the ground in tears begging. The master passed away first. I was overcome with grief. Never let go. Ask the master to explain me. Get me out of this pain. The Zen master Daoqian did not say any words of comfort. And there was nothing esoteric about Foley. Just got up and pulled his disciple up. Take him out of the monastery, to the creek at the foot of the mountain, pointing to the babbling stream. Say calmly, look at this. Stream meets mountain, stone-edge detour meets ditch, riverside filling, never stay, never complain, not attached to the path, not torn by obstacles, but he will eventually reach the sea. Return to the source. The disciple choked and said, but the stream is ruthless. I don't understand human suffering. I don't understand the pain of parting. How can I be as indifferent as a stream? The immortal master is as grateful to me as a mountain. How can I let go of this friendship so easily? The Zen master Taoqian looked at him. There is a power in the eyes that penetrates the heart. Instead of remaining calm, but every word broke the disciple's obsession. Not to make you indifferent, but to make you understand, the source of pain has never been the fate of the teacher. It's your obsession with possession. You cling to the time when your teacher was by your side, clinging to the illusion of having this friendship forever, attached to the obsession that cannot be lost. Once disillusioned, the pain of loss will come. Wrap you diagonally, like sand in your hands. The tighter you hold, the faster the drain. Only let go. Let the sand fall freely. To set yourself free, in order to truly retain the authenticity of that friendship. Disciple seems to understand, eyes still full of confusion. The Zen master Daoqian said no more. Just let him sit by the stream every day. Observe the flow of the stream. Feel the change of everything. Become aware of your thoughts in silence. Although the disciple is confused, but still follow the master's instructions. Every morning, I come to the stream to sit and watch the water. From dawn to sunset, day after day, it never stops. At first, he was still haunted by thoughts of grief. I will still cling to the pain of loss. But over time, he gradually realized the stream is never stopped by obstacles. All things have never been destroyed by change. Like the flow of life, life and death, gather and disperse. This is natural governance. Clinging to one end. Only let yourself, deep in pain. Over time, the disciple gradually comprehended the figure of the Zen master before Tao. The master said to walk like an animal, never really trying to imitate the gestures of animals. But to let go, I am a Zen practitioner. I want a dignified identity obsession. As pure and natural as an animal. Not be labeled externally, bound by the eyes of others. Live in the most authentic state. The master said that Wangbu went out. It's confidence in the heart. No need to look outside. Those who chase outward forever can only be pulled by the location. Become a subject of desire and order. Only by looking inward. Keep your heart. Not bothered by the outside world, to become the king of your own life. Be confident and authentic. The tragedy of the first monk. It is precisely because he is always chasing outward, chasing the abbot's position, chasing the approval of others, chasing the dancer's label. The obsession with having to prove itself, eventually swallowed up by these false obsessions, ended up being martyred. Just as this disciple gradually understood the truth, more and more disciples are also beginning to understand the words and deeds of the Zen master Tahakian. Daiokian did something, a move that makes everyone feel even more terrifying. He suddenly summoned all the disciples who remained in the monastery, announced that the monastery would be disbanded, transfer the property of the Chanyuan, donate all to the surrounding people. The monastery was entrusted to the care of an elderly monk, and he has to walk into the mountains alone. Retreat from now on. Stop asking about the world. All the disciples were shocked by Wen Yan. Dissuaded. Some people say that the master is in his prime. When continuing to promote the Dharma line, some people say that the disciples have just realized, need the master's guidance. Some people say that mountains are dangerous. It's too dangerous to be alone. Kedao Kian Zen master has made up his mind, no matter how much the disciples dissuade them, never wavered. He said to his disciples, Chanyuan was originally a place of vanity. Dharma is not an obsession. You don't have to cling to the form of the monastery. You don't have to cling to the master's guidance. Confidence is in your heart. Just look inward. Not bound by obsession. The best practice. After saying that, he packed a simple bag. No goodbye. No nostalgia. I walked into the depths of Jiufeng Mountain alone. The figure gradually disappeared into the dense forest. Never heard from. Some people say the Zen master lost his way deeper into the mountains. Keep practicing. Pursue a higher realm. Some say he is tired of the distractions of the world. Choose to be with the mountains and forests. Return to nature. Others say he is already a lifeless legal person, free from the cycle of life and death, turned into a breeze in the mountains and forests. Integrate with all things, everywhere. No one knows the final whereabouts of the Zen master Taokian. No one knows if he is still alive. Only a few seemingly abnormal words and deeds were left, and a legend full of mysteries, passed down from generation to generation in Jiufeng Mountain, waiting for someone who is destined to understand the truth. The story of the former Zen master of Jiufeng Road, seemingly full of mystery and anomaly. In fact, it pours into the essence of the enlightened. It also unlocks our understanding of the enlightened. Why the terrible doubts? The reason why we find enlightened people terrifying, essentially because they broke. We have deep-seated cognitive inertia. Shattered the obsessions and fantasies on which we live. Let's face it. The emptiness and insignificance of one's own heart. Shizong believes that everything in the world is changed by stone. Everything we see. Everything I feel. It's just a projection of consciousness, is a false fantasy. And the county magistrate of the enlightened is to break through this projection of consciousness. I saw the stone statues of all dharmas. No self-confidence, no distinction. Without attachment, everything is empty. Only self-confidence is everlasting. The tragedy of the handmade monk. It was never caused by the difficulties of the Zen master before Daiokian. It's because he was deeply involved in the legal profession and me. He clings to the superficial meaning of essentialism, the word as truth. But I don't understand the truth of relying on translation rather than language. He clings to the abbot's identity label. Think of location as an achievement. but I don't know that my identity is false, fleeting. He was obsessed with having to prove his obsession. Value the approval of others. But you don't understand that the value lies in yourself. No need to prove. These obsessions are like invisible shackles, trapped in dualistic perceptions. Keep him from seeing the truth. Finally swallowed by obsession. Here is the sorrow of ordinary people, and that's for all of us. And the abnormality of Taokian Zen master. It is what emerges naturally after breaking these shackles. The revelation of the true state of the enlightened. He is not attached to the Zen persons, so I can let go of my posture, walk like an animal, live in the most authentic state. He's not obsessed with being a mentor. So don't preach scripture deliberately. Guide your disciples with words and deeds. Let them figure it out for themselves. He is not attached to the form of the monastery. Therefore, I can dismiss my disciples calmly. Retreat deep mountain, not being bound by worldly responsibilities and rules. Because true confidence is not bound by fantasies. Free. Free. Many people mistakenly believe that become a perfect saint at enlightenment is to have extraordinary abilities, is to get rid of all emotions, away from the distractions of the world. But the truth is not so. Enlightenment is not about getting rid of emotions. It's about not being emotionally constrained. They will still have their joys and sorrows, but I'm not drawn by these emotions. We don't indulge in joy. Will not be overcome by sadness. Enlightenment is not the absence of desire. It's about not being led by desire. They will still have demand, but not fixated on the satisfaction of needs. Take it easy. Lost in difference. Enlightenment is not about leaving the world. It is in the world that the world is not understood by the world. Then they can live on earth. Experience firewood, rice, joys and sorrows, but always keep your heart. Not bound by obsession, not bound by rules. The life of a Zen master. No spectacular deeds. There is no mysterious heritage. Not even a complete beginning. But with the simplest words and deeds, tell us the truth about enlightenment. Enlightenment. Never become an otherworldly saint, but to return to the most authentic self, not bound by obsession, not being drawn by external factors. Live in every moment. Free. Free. The reason why this state makes ordinary people feel terrible, because he made us realize everything you hold on to all your life, all false fantasies. I have always lived in the eyes of others, in the bondage of rules, never really lived for myself. This cognitive shock, they make us feel uneasy and afraid. Perhaps we will never be like the Zen master Taokian, completely free from the shackles of the world, alone in the mountains. Can't completely break all obsessions like he did. Just punish people silently. But we can in our daily lives. A little effort. A little progress. Learn to be aware of every emotion that comes to mind. Every time I cling to disappointment, learn to let go. Every time you are bound by the evaluation of others, learn to stick to your heart. Even if you only break a small obsession every day, only one more pass per day. Over time, we can also slowly get rid of our troubles. Live more calmly, more comfortable and authentic. When we stop being influenced by our emotions, no longer bound by labels, no longer drawn by desire, when no longer bound by obsession, we will find, so-called terrible, it's a farewell to the false, the so-called enlightenment. It's just a return to the true self. Like a stream that eventually reaches the sea. Like the bright moon will eventually break through the dark clouds. We will eventually be on the road to spiritual practice. Meet that transparent, in pure self. Live as the king of your own life.